Racing season is next weekend, and had a conversation with last night. And in the course of the conversation, I started getting the sense of he was challenging me a little bit. When we first started out, I knew way more than Eno. And in the course of the last 2 years, I've done everything I could to just pour all of my knowledge and effort and energy into him so that he could develop and be the best athlete that he could be. And this is where I've had friction in the past with other riders, where they start to challenge the things that I'm telling them to do to help continue to move them forward. Ultimately, Eno and we sorted out things between us, and we kind of clarified our dynamic. But I would say to any athlete out there, just recognize that a coach isn't just there to give you information. A coach is really there to guide and shape the athlete and put them in the right direction. If you look at Michael Phelps, for example, when he is preparing for the Olympics, he knows the workouts, he's done them hundreds of times, he knows what he needs to eat. But as soon as he starts thinking or worrying about what it's going to take to get from point A to all the way to the Olympics, even if he's done it before, it's a distraction, and that diminishes his own ability to focus on the task at hand. And the task at hand is so hard, it's so excruciatingly exhausting, that if you are in any way doubting your coach, doubting the process, questioning what you're doing, or just being distracted about what you're going to need to do tomorrow or the day after, then as an athlete, you're never going to be able to fully focus on the task at hand. So really the important thing here is trust the process.
Rainy. I caught a little break in the clouds here. It's been pouring otherwise. Had to take my shoes off for that one. All wrapped up, almost home. Already thinking what I'm gonna eat. Yeah, it's been a good day.
Keep eating.
Doing an endurance ride with Justin. Well, we're almost home. We did 100 miles in 5 hours 20, and we'll definitely be over 105 miles for the day.
So we've been making a few adjustments here. We actually raised Justin's handlebars just a little bit. Lower is not always better. You're actually going to get a little bit more of an aerodynamic advantage if you're just a little bit high. You want your torso to not be fully flat, but actually slightly up. Let's have a look at your front end here. Go ahead and... This looks pretty good. We have a little bit of a question about the reliability of our power meter. So what we're doing is we have a power tap. We're going to put both of them on and just see how they line up with each other.
Out here at Palomar to do a power test. My power meter has been reading low recently, and so we put the power tap on today to see how they compare. So I just finished my power test. Did 260 watts for 20 minutes. I'm okay with that.
A little bit of a different power test today, and we are also running a different power meter. And this is a 8-minute power test, and if you do 2 of them, boom, boom, and then average the 2 and then multiply that by 0.9, 90%, that should give you a rough estimation of what your FTP is. So when we combine this with the 20-minute test he did on the power tap the other day, we could calculate his threshold at about 257. And what that means is that his power has gone up by 25 watts. We kind of struggled this off season because Justin put in so much work and his power hadn't really gone up at all. And we just kind of were wondering what's going on. It took us a while, but finally we figured out that his power meter was actually reading low. And so as his power was climbing, his power meter kept reading lower and lower. So it seemed as if his power wasn't going up at all. And, you know, this is a credit to Justin, ultimately, because, you know, he stayed the course, never had a bad attitude, and really just kept doing the work. And I was like, I know you're stronger, I know you're going faster, just keep doing the work and don't worry about what the numbers are telling you. So now we have a new power meter, and it's telling us that his power has gone up about 12%, which is kind of right on track with what we expect from him.
Out in Ventura County, I'm visiting Erick Sobey. Heading out to Santa Barbara road race, first race of the season. We got a crit tomorrow. A little nervous, but that's pretty normal for a first race. Santa Barbara road race was yesterday. It wasn't really long, it got shortened, and it just wasn't intense really. So I got to put in some hours today before the crit, just to get my hours for the week. Dolphins!
1 second! Up, keep it going! Everything you got! Now!
Checking in from the Santa Monicas. We had the first race weekend a few days ago. Went pretty good. Super happy for Corey Williams getting the win. It was a nice refresher for tactics and just a nice to open up and go hard for a bit. A couple of hard weeks of training before Valley of the Sun, Chico. Gonna have training camp here in a bit. So it's going to be pretty busy, a lot of time on the road, but I'm excited to get going. Making my way through LA to KHS this morning. It's going to be a long day. Going to grab my new bike. Doing a little photo shoot here at KHS.
A little more. These look really cool for you. Got back from picking up his bike. Eno's new KHS.
Yeah, it's definitely longer.
Yeah. Just kind of getting everything dialed in. It's relatively straightforward, but the new bike, we have a new saddle, so that's going to change the contact point slightly. The handlebars are a little bit different, and we have a different stem. So we just want to make sure that everything is dialed in. How's that feel?
Yeah, I'm still learning the saddle.
Looking at Eno's power file from the crit and also looking at the road race, he never really lit the afterburners. If you look right here, this highlighted 5-minute section, he only averaged 388. And if you compare that to his threshold, which right now is actually 420, he was well within himself. And this kind of stacks up a little bit with what you see in the early part of the season, where guys will have a lot of strength or a lot of fitness, but you have to kind of tie everything together. Now we've definitely hit the point of the season where it makes sense to do some motor pacing, really work on high intensity intervals. Justin gearing up. He's gonna go test out wheels, minus the disc wheel, and then helmet and everything, and just kind of see how it all looks.
At speed.
At speed, exactly. For this test, go straight out Camino del Rey and hold about 440. Following Eno and Justin right now, and pretty impressed with Eno. He is flying right now. Justin's doing pretty well. He definitely has some work to do.
Myself up. I got too confident, went pretty hard in the first 2 minutes, and then settled into threshold.
A little bit of a mistake, classic, very classic. Justin went out too hard. I said very specifically do 260, and he did 280, 290 for the first couple minutes. Blew himself up. Very normal, you know. We've all made that mistake at one point or another, and better to make this mistake now than actually in races. But it's a lesson that he needs to learn, because you can't do that. If you do that, you will mess up your whole race, because you'll blow up. And then what did you end up averaging for 10 minutes?
245.
Yeah. Nice and steady, Justin. Steady. We are pretty much at the end of the off season, and it's been very solid, very productive. I talked a little bit at the start of the video about trusting the process, and I have to say that Eno has been super awesome. You know, we have our disagreements from time to time, but at the end of the day, he's been rock solid for 2.5 years.
How does that feel, Justin?
That's pretty good.
Achieving big things.
Whoa, go back. Oh. Come on. No, I'm only messing around.
Almost caught the kid.
Yeah. I was like, Justin's going pretty fast. And then I was like, nope, can't argue with pure power.